Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details. I'm really excited. I want to be doing a video today sharing with you guys. I have this beautiful BMW X6N. We're going to be doing a wash, a decontamination. We're going to be doing a polish on the vehicle, and then we're going to be applying Mckees 37, their new 3-year coating that they have out probably the last few months. I've worked with it a couple of times, and I thought that this would be a fantastic way to highlight this product for you guys. My customer specifically wants this product, so it's not something that I'm testing out. I've explained to him some of the different options that I have, and he really wants to try out this. And he's going to be maintaining it with a lot of their products, the CO2 Auto Wash, and then the Mckees 37, their Hydro Blue. So I'm excited that he has maintenance products that I can offer him on a retail level to use on a product like this. It's not anything that he has to spend an arm and a leg. You don't have to have authorized installer only products. This is something that he can maintain at home, and it's going to have fantastic results for him. So I'm going to be doing all of the prep work in time lapse, but I want to show you guys, for any of you that are interested in the new 3-year coating, what the proper prep steps are going to be involved for this. So if you don't want to see all the proper prep, if you're a pro and you just want to see the product, I'll let you know the minute mark to fast forward to see the application of the coating. But for any of you guys that are looking for a prosumer grade product, which is a pro product that you can buy on a consumer grade level, it's going to give you fantastic gloss, easy application. Let's get into it. Here's our before. Let's go ahead, get set up with all of our supplies, and we'll get this vehicle prepped. So we're going to start off the detail doing a high pressure rinse to remove any sort of loose debris. We're also going to hit our front grille and rear view mirrors with Bugs Be Gone to help remove any of the bugs. Then we're going to follow up with our Meguiar's iron remover. You want to let that dwell for 1 to 2 minutes to let the chemical reaction take place. That's just going to help remove the chemical bond between any sort of ferrous metals, rail dust, things like that. If the sun is baking on that too much, you can lightly agitate it with a wet microfiber to give it longer dwell time. Once we're done letting that dwell, we're going to do a high pressure rinse again, and then after that we're going to hit out our pre-foam to help remove any sort of road film, tar, remaining bug guts, just to help loosen, make our wash method a lot safer. Once you let that dwell for 1 to 2 minutes, go ahead, rinse that off. I also like to work clean, so I'm making sure that my driveway is rinsed off, so don't mind my OCD kicking in. But once that is all rinsed off, we're going to do our contact wash using Mckees 37, the Coating Prep Auto Wash. My favorite wash when I'm doing any sort of coating or stripping waxes and sealants. It's fantastic. Normally one time around the vehicle is all you need to remove any previously applied waxes and sealants. But you can see here, I'm not using a grit guard in a 2-bucket method. I actually will use the grit guard to do a high pressure rinse to remove any sort of dirt on the mitt, and that way I can safely make sure I'm not putting any of the dirt and soiling back into my clean soapy water. I'm rinsing it off, squeezing it out, putting it back into my wash bucket. And here I'm just following up with a clay towel method. I'm using the Optimum clay towel. Really, any clay towel will be sufficient. It's a quick and efficient way to remove any remaining bonded contaminants, tar, rail dust, sap, things like that that are on the paint, even water spots. If the water starts to dry too quickly on the vehicle and you have water spots, you can go over your glass and remove those. Now that we've got everything rinsed off, we're going to dry it with our amphibian drying towel, and I absolutely love this drying towel. One towel dried this entire vehicle with no streaks. Fantastic. I'm really impressed. We're going to open up our wings, dry out our door jambs, apply a spray wax. I already did the door jambs before I even started recording this, so all I had to do was dry them off, and I had already done the engine as well. So everything from head to toe on this vehicle is now washed. We're just going to hit the inside with spray wax for our engine, and we're pretty much going to call it a wrap on our wash and prep. So now we're ready to polish our vehicle, and I did a couple test spots, and after a few tests, landed on Angel Wax Resurrection and 3D1. Both cut really well on hard paint and finished down beautifully, ultimately with one step. So that was going to save us some time, but I knew this was going to not be a quick process simply because it's harder paint. German paints typically tend to be harder, and also because of the amount of scratches that were on the side panels. The top surfaces cleaned up really nicely, but the side panels were really heavily scratched from automatic car washes. You can see we're also polishing the glass with Pinnacle water spot remover to prep us for our ceramic coating on the glass, as well as the rain repellent. That way we remove any sort of water spots, bug guts, things like that. And we're also just going to take our time with polishing. I'm not going to hurry through this or speed through it. I want to make sure that I get as many of these swirls and scratches removed as possible without also compromising the clear coat. So it's a fine game. You don't want to necessarily have to always do a two-step, but sometimes it is required. And that's just where you have to be patient, let the paint speak to you, and do the work. Alright, so here's our side panels. You can see they're the most heavily swirled. Customer must take it through car wash. I actually had to break out Angel Wax Resurrection for the side panels. It's not perfect, but I was able to get probably 90% of the swirls and scratches out of the lower panels. So you can see this is kind of our end result. The lower rocker panels are always the hardest to get out. You can see it's not perfect, but it's greatly improved, especially when that's our before. And now this is our after. So you don't always have to go for paint perfection when you're ceramic coating. It's really up to your preference, the customer's budget, the tools that you have. I have Angel Wax Resurrection. I'm still using the Rupes polishing pad because it's finishing down really well on this paint and it's giving me decent cut. So I'm happy with those results. But just wanted to kind of bring you along. I'm going to zip through this. I'm not going to necessarily put it in time lapse because it's going to make for a really long video, but between 3D1 and Angel Wax Resurrection, we're getting really great results. You can see we've already done our panel prep spray on the hood, the roof, hood roof, and the front grille here, and then our side. So I'm just working my way around the vehicle, and I'll end on the other side. Alright, so this vehicle is completely prepped. I may not have 100% footage to show you guys of the polish set, but trust me, it is 8:30 at night. It took a minute. Definitely took a lot longer than anticipated. This was harder paint. The side rocker panels were very heavily scratched just from automatic car washes. I had to break out Angel Wax Resurrection and then go over it again with 3D1, essentially doing a two-step on the side panels. The hood and the roof and the trunk were easily polished out with just 3D1, but my back is hurting me, my kids are in bed, and now it's time for me to get to work. So we've done all the prep work. That's the hardest part. And with any ceramic coating, if you're going to be having a professional detailer do it, a bulk of the cost is going to be the prep work. So because we took, let's see, we started at 10 o'clock, it's now 8:30. Let's say we took 10 hours for prep work. That's a wash, chemical decontamination, a clay bar. We did the road film remover, contact wash, and then from there pulled it in, dried it. We did a thorough cleaning on the tires and wheels because we're also going to be putting coatings and sealants on those. So those took a little bit longer than normal to clean and prep. And then from there, we did the polish, and that took me about 6 hours, to be honest with you. I did stop for about 20 minutes for supper and maybe 20-minute breaks in between there to help the kiddos with stuff. So you're looking at around 5-6 hours for a thorough polish, almost a two-step polish. So anyways, just to explain to you guys, the prep work is the bulk of the work. The coating, this is the easy part. So let's go ahead. We're going to do this hood together. I'm going to do half and then the other half and show you guys how I would do it. Let me get set up with my tripod and we'll go ahead and take a little bit of a closer look at how easy the coating is to apply. Alright, so we have already done the hood, and I can tell you that I've used this product a couple times in the past. You want to make sure first and foremost that you have fresh air. It's a stronger chemical smell just because of the solvents that are within it. Instructions essentially say that you want to do a proper decontamination prep. We've done that. We've done our coating panel prep spray. Everything is ready to go. I have a autofiber microfiber saver applicator. There's like a plastic lining underneath of the microfiber that's going to help keep the coating more on the surface, so that way it's not being absorbed into the sponge. But I just find they're a little bit more pliable, especially around sharper corners and things like that. And with them being smaller, you're not wasting as much product on a bigger sponge or applicator. It comes in a eye drop glass bottle, and I did one vehicle already and used about, I'd say, a quarter of the product. It's a 4-ounce bottle, so you can get anywhere from 3, 4, 5 vehicles out of one bottle. So that's really great, cost-effective coating right there for even if you're a pro detailer. I have my 2 microfibers ready to go. Essentially, you probably only need one. This is a different type of coating where you don't have a very long work time. So you don't necessarily want to do a panel, wait a minute or two to let it flash, then level it, then buff it. That's the kind of standard rule of thumb with most ceramic coatings. This one is a little bit more unique, I'm finding, where you apply it and you immediately buff it off. You don't necessarily need to do a level. It's going to be a lot easier to remove if you just follow the instructions, apply, and immediately buff off. So we've got 2 microfibers here. These are just a low GSM microfiber. I find that they're a little bit better for getting the coating off. You could use something similar to the, I'm trying to think, the Korean Edgeless. This is like a 365 GSM, something like that. But I just like something that's a little bit of a shorter nap. I find that it just has a little bit more grab. So I'm going to go ahead, apply to this fender panel here, whatever it's called. I'm sorry, it's 8:30 at night and I'm tired. I'm very tired. But we're going to go ahead here. You just want to do an outline. Side to side, up and down. You can see I'm using the trim as my guide, so that way I know what I've done and not done. We're just going to come in and immediately buff off. Alright? And it's just as easy as that. We've applied and buffed off the ceramic coating. Now I will tell you, I need to switch my lighting. One tip that I have found that works effectively is to actually have indirect lighting. So what I'll do is I'll actually shine a light kind of against a white surface in the background or on the white ceiling, and shine the light on the white indirectly, so that way it's not shining on the vehicle, and that way you can see the coating a little bit better. So this works especially well on white vehicles. So we're going to keep moving around the vehicle and put you into time lapse, and then what we'll do is, because it's after 9 already. We're going to go ahead, finish this vehicle, call it a night. Tomorrow, once it is cured, let's say 12 hours, we'll bring it out into the daylight and do a walk around and show you what the finished look looks like. So, let's do this. Alright guys, here is our finished look. It is 10:30, so that took us an hour and a half to apply. This is a lot bigger vehicle than you would expect. We ended up doing the front windshield, the headlights, any trim that we came across, even the piano trim where you get in and out of the vehicle. But you can see we've got really great gloss. I will say the product by itself, it flashes very quickly and it can be a little grabby to buff off. So just keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you change your microfibers. If you find that you're wiping and leaving some streaking behind, get a fresh microfiber or flip to a fresh side. But really, you know, for the fact that it is a 1-layer, 3-year coating, fantastic. A lot of coatings, they're going to be, you know, maybe a 2-year, you've got to add a second layer 3 hours later. And so by the time it's all said and done, it may only take you, you know, 45 minutes to an hour for 1 layer, but you have to do a second layer. So the fact that this was an hour and a half for 1 layer, but a 3-year product, that's really, really impressive. I know my customer is going to be blown away. This paint literally looks like it is wet. It looks fantastic. So I hope you guys enjoy this kind of in-depth look on the application process of Mckees 37. And what we're gonna do is call it a night. Well, for you, I have to finish up the tires and wheels. But alright guys, I know that I said we would be doing a walk around in the daylight, but Mother Nature is not cooperating. It is actually in the 50s outside. It's supposed to snow tomorrow. What? Mother's Day? But we're gonna roll with it. So we're just gonna keep this baby in the garage for the day. We're gonna let it cure for 24 hours. You don't want to get any sort of ceramic coatings wet for at least 24 hours. But you can see we've got fantastic gloss. It's almost glass-like. I'm really, really happy with the end result. A lot of this, yes, is due to the prep work, the polish that we were able to do. But what's great about ceramic coatings is essentially you're able to lock in the condition of your paint for long term. I know this was a little bit lengthier video. I wanted to show you guys how to prep, polish, and also how to apply the Mckees 37, the 3-year coating. You can do this at home. You can have a pro do it, but you're going to get fantastic results, and then you can maintain it with our whole line of products that are readily available online. So if any of you have any questions about the coating application, about polishing steps, about prep steps, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help. But I hope you were able to kind of, you know, take this video and feel a little bit more confident about being able to approach your own vehicle or maybe a neighbor's or a customer's vehicle and know how to do the proper steps. So I thank you guys for watching. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you learned anything new. If you didn't, feel free to give me a thumbs down. I'm not going to cry about it. So anyways, I'm always learning. I want to see if these videos are beneficial to you guys. I know this one's probably a little bit more of a lengthier one, but ceramic coating is not a quick process. It takes time, and so it's hard for me to kind of take a 13-hour detail and compress it to a 5-minute video. So thanks for watching, hanging in there with me, and we're going to move on with this detail and call it a wrap. I'm really excited to see what the customer says tomorrow when he picks it up. But you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video.